Hello and welcome back to the Shed Geek Podcast. Here's a message from our studio sponsor. Let's be real. Running a shed business today isn't just about building great sheds. The industry is changing fast. We're all feeling the squeeze, competing for fewer buyers while expectations keep climbing. And yet, I hear from many of you that you are still juggling spreadsheets, clunky software, or disconnected systems. You're spending more time managing chaos than actually growing your business. That's why I want to talk to you about our studio sponsor, ShedPro. If you're not already using them, I really think you should check them out. ShedPro combines your 3D configurator, point of sale, RTO contracts, inventory, deliveries, and dealer tools all in one platform. They even integrate cleanly into our Shed Geek marketing solutions. From website lead to final delivery, you can quote, contract, collect payment, and schedule delivery in one clean workflow. No more double entries, no more back and forth chaos. Quoting is faster, orders are cleaner. And instead of chasing down paperwork, you're actually running your business. And if you mention Shed Geek, you'll get 25% off all setup fees. Check it out at shedpro.co/ShedGeek. Thank you, ShedPro, for being our studio sponsor, and honestly, for building something that helps the industry. Welcome back to part 2 of this episode. If you missed it, go back and check out part 1 that aired on Wednesday. Yeah. Someone said something the other day about data, like it was almost probably could be perceived as a bit of a negative thing, like that data nerds are trying to turn it into the car industry. I don't think anybody's trying to turn the shed industry into anything. I think people are looking for solutions, and data often's the answer. And I'm the first one to criticize it around the office. So like Cord will hear me be like, who cares about data? We care about creativity around here. Cord's like, no, we need solid ideas that have solid answers. And I'm like, nah. Why is that important?
We need to be able to track things.
Cord's like, okay, you got all that data. What are you going to do with it? You got all the shed industry data. We're going to resell a shed to somebody who's on it.
Cord is very good. Cord is very good at 1 + 1 is 2. And I'm like, could be.
Could be.
Could be.
That's what they say.
You guys are teeing up one of my passion projects, because I really get excited about this, because we actually have access to our data in a way now that we've never had before. One of the things I've always wanted to know is, so for some of these rent-to-own companies who have been in business for quite a number of years, is all the payoff data is there, all the repossession data is there. We know time frames of when do customers actually pay off. What is in the repossession side, we can now tell you start date and end date of that contract, along with number of payments that have been made and when those payments have actually been made, and be able to take that data and begin to start to model what a portfolio can do. This has been one of the dreams I've had for quite a number of years, because I think one of the questions that, particularly on the funding side and working with your bank or working with investors, is to say, okay, so I'm going to give you X amount of money. How's that money going to perform for me as a rent-to-own company? We can now do that, and that part gets me really, really excited, because I said I'm a bit of a data nerd, and so being able to take this kind of level of data and begin to do projections based on real historical data, not just looking at the amount that's in your portfolio and say, okay, we should get this amount of money. No, based on all the entire history that you, as you run as a rent-to-own company, what is the historical performance of a rent-to-own company? Interesting to know, most companies from underneath the hood perform somewhat the same from a payoff data standpoint. The unknown piece across most companies is repossession side and past due numbers, but I can now take a number of companies inside of our management portfolio and say, I can model this data. I can actually build reporting that can actually answer these questions now. And I get really excited about this, because I know it's really nerdy, and I know it's really like, but it gets me really, really excited to be able to actually to play with models now and say, okay, if we do this with invested money, if we do this with the collection performance, what can actually happen 20 years out into the future? And to start to see those numbers move and how much that moves based on 1% difference in your collection model, like it's huge.
I'm about to jump out of my socks, Dwayne, because I continue to say that the RTO historic data is probably also the best way to model overall shed market performance, not just RTO performance, but you should be able to model the actual performance of the industry using historical RTO data. We know that the penetration is relatively stable, right? Like we should be able to make some like very bold claims about what next year's shed market is, and you should be able to start. You should be able to start, grading the performance of your own company, of dealers, not just based on total units sold, but based on like, well, what do we know about that market? Well, gosh, we have a lot of historic data that should tell us, how many sheds were sold, what the repo rate was on those, like all of the financial stuff, but also just what was the size of it. Like you can accurately, if you have the historic data and the data set's big enough, like this industry could really like grow up kind of overnight. You've got me so excited. You've made such a good first impression. And so I'm going to do a real smooth transition here because all of us in the shed industry know that for customers, paint is the ultimate first impression. It's what you see from the road. But for those of us who work in sheds and who manufacture and sell sheds, we know that that's only part of the equation. It's not just the color you see on the outside. It's the service that you get and the quality that you get in those paints, stains, and coverings. So Pittsburgh Paint has come to the shed industry with a very specific and a very great program, the True Industrial and True Shed Max Shed Program, which is not just a series of coatings that broke out of the light industrial coatings that PPG had offered in the past, whenever they were PPG, but they're not anymore. They're Pittsburgh Paints. But they broke out those coatings. They're great. And more than that, they have a dedicated team. This is a company that is dedicated to the shed industry, making sure that they are serving the real needs, the way that the shed industry operates, not just passing off other coatings that were either meant for industrial use or for home use as shed paints, coatings, and coverings. So please give those guys a call. That is Jamie and Carter over at Pittsburgh Paints. And that, my friends, is a great example of a smooth transition in the middle of a riveting conversation. And thank you all so much for allowing me to do it.
What's their phone number?
If I don't know, not off the top of my head, I don't know. But
sorry.
It's not in the copy. It's not in the copy. But I will tell you, Carter Burns,
Carter and Jamie.
Carter's on Facebook.
Criminals.
Anyway.
They're not criminals. They're great guys.
If data,
Google them.
if a conversation about RTO data doesn't make you think of paint coverings, then what are you even doing? Is my question.
Well, thank you guys for indulging me. But
really, a tough way to get a live read in is when we're talking about data, and you're like, let's get on that paint covering conversation.
But this is such a great first impression, Shannon. That's the key. Such a great first impression of only.
The way you did the first impression into paint was
flawless.
Do you understand the level of restraint I had to not? I was like, I got to help him do this ad because that was so good. I want to just hype it up.
I feel like the two of us being on a podcast together is really just a battle to see who gets invited to MC these various events across the industry. So if you're the NSRA, if you're on that board,
good luck, my friend.
Now we can tie data straight into paint.
Oh my goodness,
I was
I'm just
struggling to try to find a way to bring Kyle's shirt into the paint conversation. I was like, that's got to be a perfect setup.
This is total Pittsburgh paint colors right here.
That one in. I'll tie your paint conversation right in because it's one of the things that we track inside of the asset record.
Boom!
Wow.
I bet there's a difference
based on your paint style.
I bet there's a difference in repos depending on paint. I bet these coastals never get repoed.
Hey, shout out back in the day. Listen, real talk. When Kyle and I got into the industry, there was a guy who, and this guy, legend, Guy's name's Rob Eaton.
Okay, there you go. Okay.
What did you think I was going to say?
I don't know. Go ahead.
You remember Rob, Shannon?
Yeah, absolutely.
Rob was one of those guys, couldn't read a room, but he could read all the books. You know what I mean?
That's true.
That was, and he had read them all because
Yeah,
he
he
was
did.
the smartest guy in the room. But Rob had the idea, when you set up a lot set, we only set up in that particular geography based on what has sold, what color, what size. And he did that in 2017.
Yeah.
And so we had lot sets that were based on actual data.
Yep.
And I have no idea how he got that data because we didn't have a system.
Never
that
sold.
did very
Never
well.
sold any of those inventory buildings, did we, Shannon?
Not here where you want earth tones in Southern Illinois. We just could not
Are you
get a
talking
coastal
about the
color
coastal
to take
colors?
off.
The coastal colors.
Guys, that was my idea.
Well, it was
I'm
bad.
here. I'm right here.
I still do grays and earth tones, and we just had a great episode with Ruth Ann over there in Pittsburgh, and she was a professional whenever it came to like color, and I was like, I never realized how much it actually affects sales. But if you can report that, if you can actually show that, Cord was talking about something earlier about, and I was like, that ties into everything. It ties into having that data set, ties into your ability to borrow as an RTO company. It ties into your repos. It ties into what your dealers are actually carrying on their lot.
Yeah.
I mean, data is not the enemy. I know I'm the last guy in line, don't get me wrong, to like focus on it. But if you do not have a target, I do not understand what you're shooting at. It's either a shotgun blast or a rifle approach. And we talk about that all the time in the office. It's like, what are we actually trying to accomplish here today? And if you don't have that data, and this industry is getting more mature, it's just growing up. It's getting more organized. As it gets more organized, it begs for these opportunities for people to step in and fill those things. And it sounds like that's what you guys have done. I wish I was that smart, but we do our best to talk about you guys, at least in a good way.
Do you know how I realize you're more mature than I am?
Oh,
The way he pronounces
says it.
mature.
Yes, I say mature. Mature. I think mature is fancier.
Is that right?
It is.
That's my favorite way you could say mature.
I'm sure when people look at me, the mature, whatever, that's the first thing that comes to mind.
Mature. I like that. I'm going to buy some Pittsburgh paint
There you go.
because of this.
Tell
ad.
them Shed Geek sent
I
you.
will. I like it.
I'm not going to read it again. I pulled it up, but you know what? There's too many.
I was hoping there's a promo code. You know what I mean?
Anyway.
Next time.
Well, I'll tell you what, like love these live ad reads. So for anybody who seriously does want to stay in front of the audience, we appreciate that. We do appreciate when you tell them Shed Geek sent you. But what else are you guys
And if
doing?
you need a hype guy, I'm willing to come on and do live reads. Just know that. For
wait
a
a minute.
small, listen,
That sounds interesting.
I'll do it. 2 easy payments, 1 incredibly difficult payment, but it will be hype. I will. Listen.
tells
Gordon,
Too
how we do
easy
it
and one
together?
difficult.
I'll
That's a
tell
good
you
sign.
what, it sounds like a perfect scenario because I got all this money and I just can't figure out how to get rid of it.
I knew that. That's why I
How
wanted
do
to
I
say.
do that?
Well,
How
just
do I
charge
get
more
rid
for
of
the
it all?
ad. Just include my fee in the ad.
So
Some of them.
what else are you guys doing?
once-
I mean, like,
once
look,
I've-
it's. Oh, I'm sorry.
Go
Go
ahead,
ahead,
Dwayne.
Dwayne.
No, I was going to say, once I'm mature, I'm going to have money like Shannon has there, where I just don't.
I'll tell you what, it's a burden. You don't want it. Dwayne. It's a burden.
More
you know?
money, more problems.
Yeah, I mean, it's a struggle to get rid of it half the time. But I mean, like, you guys are the obvious partners. It just, we see the yin yang here, right? Like, we see where you guys like work off of each other's energy. We see where it's going to be successful. I'm curious about. I mean, unless you guys have more that you wanted to talk about on Only, I'm curious about like these other projects that you guys are
Oh,
getting
we're crazy right now, man. We just thought, let's do, let's.
How many water bottles do you need?
You got to stay hydrated, folks. You can't have silky smooth skin like this.
He's got 3 water bottles.
Thank you, Leah.
And a
Leah,
cup of coffee.
Leah, so that's my point right there. That's Leanne right there. Always reaffirming.
Yep.
She's got your back. You know what I mean? She feels the pressure
Don't-
Kyle's giving me.
Don't
Here she
enable
is.
him, Leanne. Don't enable him.
Oh no.
Sam, what's going on? Are you okay?
Yes, I'm fine, Lisa. I was just trying to get a screwdriver and all this other stuff fell down. I'm ready to go buy a shed so we can have some space in this garage again.
I agree. I keep looking at the shed Mr. Jenkins bought. Let's ask him where I got his.
Howdy, neighbor. We're wondering, how do you like your shed?
I love it. It's exactly what I needed, and I couldn't have asked for a better service.
And where did you get it?
I can't remember, but let me check. Something this nice will probably have the builder's name on it somewhere. No, I'm sorry. I can't find a name anywhere.
Well, we finally got a shed.
Yes. I just hope we're happy. The thing is a lot more shoddy than I expected, and I'm sure I told them I wanted a window, but they didn't have it in the paperwork, so I couldn't argue. Boy, is this a lousy shed. We haven't even had it 2 years, have we?
Barely. It was just a bad deal all the way around. Mr. Jenkins told me the other day that he likes his shed so much he wants to get a second one, but he still can't remember where he got it.
Your product is your best advertising. At Identigrow, we provide nameplates that ensure your quality products are never forgotten. Identify your products, grow your business. For more information, visit identigrow.com.
Or give them a call at 540-283-9193. Hello, shed builders. I'd like to grab your attention for just a moment. As we look ahead, one thing is clear. Customers will have higher expectations than ever before. Shed consumers have an unprecedented access to information. To stay competitive, you need to create sheds that are not only high in quality, but also rich in innovation. You might recall my friend Dan Ream, one of my early podcast guests, who introduced Solar Blaster fans, specifically the Solar Roof Blaster. Dan has been busy handling orders, and he's eager to speak directly to shed builders about his groundbreaking products. What stands out to me about Dan's products, designed specifically for sheds, like the Solar Roof Blaster and the Solar Light Blaster, is how they enhance the shed owner's experience. With the focus on quality, it's time to start thinking about adding features and benefits for the end user. Here at Shed Geek, we wholeheartedly recommend Solar Blaster as the solution. My favorite thing about the entire line of products? The support you'll receive from Dan. Not only is he incredibly knowledgeable about these products, but he's also one of the most customer-focused individuals I know. He truly stands behind both his product and his service. We're searching for companies ready to elevate customer satisfaction to the next level. To learn more, just visit solarblasterfans.com and fill out some basic information for a callback, or connect directly at 480-747-7097. You can also check out the Shed Geek newsletter, where a click on the Solar Blaster ad will guide you to a form for more information and some cool videos showcasing the products. Let's power up innovation and elevate customer experiences together.
You know, no secret, Kyle and I have known each other. Well, maybe it is a secret. I'll say this story. You know this.
I was about to say, I know this, but maybe the industry
maybe
doesn't
they
know
don't.
how far y'all go back.
24 years ago, we had lunch with his brother today, which is funny because he was the lead singer, Kyle was on bass, and they were a band. JCPC, which sounds pretty nifty. That's nifty.
Yeah, it totally is.
Jesus Christ Power Company.
We were electric.
Very mature.
I like it. Very mature.
It's 13, man.
Mature.
And to
Did you say manure? No, mature.
it's off the rails. But that's when I met Kyle. And Kyle was like 11, Pentecostal.
Can we quit this?
No, it's good. It's good. And I was in a band. Some people know, I eventually, we were terrible then, by the way.
They were. They lost.
We were not good. And JCPC, I knew we were beat when the guy went behind his back with the guitar solo in the band contest, and it was To Trade My Sorrows to Daryl Evans. I don't even know how he does it. But I was like, respect, and to this day, I have an honorable mention from 2002 where they beat us, and I keep it next to the album where we eventually, I always tell people we were really bad, and then eventually we were just less bad, but we still probably, just depends on your perspective. But that's where Kyle and I met,
They went on to tour with, like Newsboys and Switchfoot, and they played places like
Snoop
that.
Dogg.
Snoop Dogg, definitely.
Definitely.
And,
No, I'm just kidding.
I was like, you see my eyes get big?
And,
I was like, no way.
Not Snoop Dogg. Hey, real story. We played in Kansas City the night after Lil Wayne. And if you're listening to this and you don't know who Lil Wayne is,
Between 2007 and 2012.
do not go listen
Oh,
to.
yeah, don't.
Like if you're in this industry, that is not it's not who we are. But they had been there the night before, and we were in their green room, and we were not like them. I will just say that. That was a really weird sidebar, if I'm honest with you. But so we've known each other for a long time. When I got into the industry, Shannon, you were part. I mean, we've talked about this before, but spent 4+ years on the manufacturing side. Kyle saw me at the Paducah Christmas Parade, where we had built a double-decker just for the Christmas parade because we definitely went all out, as you can imagine. It was a show. And Kyle looked at me and said, "What?"
so what are you doing?
And what did I say?
Call me. It's weird.
That was it.
That's how I got in the industry.
That was it. And I had been in the industry maybe a year.
Yeah.
And then Kyle comes on. Shannon eventually comes on. Again, a who's who for a while there. I mean, you think about all the people that came through that in that moment. But so fast forward, I go for 4 years and do banking, and then Kyle calls and along
What
with
are you doing?
Jim Coleman's like, you should like, this industry's not crazy enough. We need you back. And so we've been together for the last few years at JMAG, deeply aligned with them. And the beginning of the year, this fantastic opportunity, obviously, to join and to build something and to partner and to be part owners with Only and with Burkholder Management, which, by the way, shout out, 4% delinquency right now on the Burkholder Management side.
That's great.
Wow.
4%. And here's why. Because they're awesome at execution. So if you're looking for management services and you want 4% because that's good for your money and your portfolio, give us a call. But on top of that,
You're supposed to read that chord.
that was your...
Nobody gave me a script.
Just kidding.
Truly, 4%, guys. That's
But
really
you got to
that's
read it
awesome.
in that accent.
Dwayne is like, what have we done?
I don't know. I'm beginning to wonder.
Yeah. By the way, 4% is no joke. That's some real time, like incredible portfolio performance. But
I thought you were going to dissect the accent.
No.
Which went strangely from like New York Italian down to like Biloxi, like antebellum. It switched in the middle. You know what I mean? That's
what he does.
It ended with a little like twang.
I wish I could tell you that that's
4%.
exactly what I was going for.
4%.
I do declare.
Don't encourage it. Don't encourage it.
It's like, is this gone with the wind? Okay.
It started with like 4%, and then it ended with 4%. Anyway, 4%, that's fantastic. Give me a script.
Worst setup for the next 3 minutes ago, he asked me, what are you doing else? What else we did?
Yeah.
So Kyle and I have obviously have known each other for a long time and had a deep belief. And part of this new transition for us is also us launching a company that Wild Belief Co. You guys obviously know we did Wild Wednesday last year, and Wild Belief is going to exist to do something we think unique in the industry, because there's plenty of companies that do marketing. What we want to do is help give leaders and companies the courage to be themselves. We want to give them clarity, help them find the clarity, because, if it's confusing, you're losing. And we want to give them and help them build influence that's felt, not forgotten. That sounds like a vision. It is. How do I say that better? We want to help leaders stink less. Because people often leave leaders, they don't leave jobs. We want to help companies understand from the beginning. Like people say, Craig, you're really good at storytelling. It's like, I'm not. I'm really good at believing. Mm-hmm. I'm just believing what I'm aligned with. Yep. And that is coming from my pores. So I'm not having to like I don't have it. And I hope I don't sound like I'm over arrogant here, because I'm not. There's plenty of things I'm not good at.
Perfect amount of arrogant. You're doing
Perfect
good.
amount. Okay. Perfect amount. Good. I was just looking for just a dash. But the older I get, the more I realize who I am and who I'm not, right? But like when I believe something, it just comes through the pores. And leaders who believe lead differently.
I can, no, on a serious note, I can relate to that. Shannon, you talk a lot. Or you do a podcast. Of course, I do.
Yep.
And
Sorry,
That's
I thought we were
accurate.
supposed to agree.
and the reality is, it's because I listen twice as much. And I think that's the thing that people don't understand is like
Yep.
once you absorb so much, you feel obligated to speak. And I've heard an old saying that says if what you have to say doesn't improve upon the silence, then it's better to just be quiet. And so like if you're going to like put yourself and manifest yourself into a position to where you're trying to lead thought or at least lead conversation through some level of thought, it's because you've sat back and studied on it to some unrealistic amount of time that no one else would dare to spend on it. And when you care about it that much, it just pours out of you. You're like, I'm sorry, I'm talking because I'm passionate about it.
And that's sales. It's influence because of belief.
Yeah.
And so what the heck does that mean? What are we going to do? It's like we're trying to figure it out. Website's not even done yet.
It's yet a new, like,
Sweeping the sidewalk outside. Hey there, fella.
like Dwayne and Leanne are over here like, I don't know how we could crash and burn any harder.
They love it.
What did we do?
They love it. But
All I'm going to say is quarterly planning and L10 meetings are quite interesting.
I'm sure.
Great.
But it's fun. I bet you're having fun. And I'll tell you what, there's just not, and I think it was Jim that told me this, and Craig, you're just the perfect depiction of this. Like, we just don't have enough fun in this industry.
preach.
Like, I really believe that, like, we're so stoic that sometimes, I mean, like, we are the frozen chosen. I mean, it's just about as real as it gets. Like, we just, like, and of course, Kyle knows about my bad joking behaviors, but, like, I believe that, like, yeah, bad timing. But, I mean, like, why aren't we supposed to laugh? Why aren't we supposed to have fun? And, Craig, you're like the top pinnacle of that. I feel like I love your energy. I love what you guys do. Kyle, same. I mean, like, we've worked together so long that, like, me and you can't get anything done because we laugh half the time.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just a reality. We're usually joking and laughing and cutting up, but what you're saying is very personal to me because it's real. It just pours out of you, and you don't even know how you're doing it. You just genuinely want to help people.
But it's opportunity. That's the thing that, like, you're grabbing at, right? Is like, yes.
That's the part you're real good at too.
Yes, the industry is like, as a whole, is stuck in place a lot of the time and is, obsessed with all the, like, very practical things, cost cutting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's obsessed with, like, this very, like, I mean, there's, technically it's like the Chicago School of Economics versus, like, the European school, where, like, you truly believe that, like, once you have a system, you just cut, and you're left with excess. It's like, actually, the excess is derived from going and doing the things that other people are unwilling to do, right? And I mean, Only is a great example right here. I can only imagine that
You're going to owe us so much money for saying all this.
Oh, man. You're crossing two lines there. You're crossing trademarks and songs.
I can only imagine that you guys are going to do that with all these other projects to push people.
Shannon threw his wallet out. Yeah. Hey, don't sing it. We'll have to pay them.
But anyway, I guess what I'm saying is having the attitude that going above and beyond and going the extra distance and testing new ideas and having the energy that actually winds up culminating in those ideas is such an opportunity in this industry.
Well, you guys know this. You've heard me say in the sea of same, what wins? And a brand really is the culture made visible. And to stand out, you got to go all the way back to the beginning. Mm-hmm. We don't need a whole lot more content without purpose,
Substance, and yeah.
And so what are we going to do at Wild Belief Co? We joke. We don't know. We know. It's going to look like this. We're going to help companies either audit, because how many people in this industry don't have their core values, mission, and vision? Mm-hmm. Or they'll say, we've got them, but we don't know where they are. Or How are they even building and differentiating themselves from everybody else? Because it's not quality. Everybody's got quality. Everybody's got relationships. How do they do that? And guys, that's not something that we create. We discover that. We got to help people discover who they are and then give them the courage to be themselves.
Express it.
Yes. And most people don't have the courage. We're insecure. There's plenty. So we want to help them discover. Now we can listen. We know how to make things sound, there's only how many times is integrity and trust on it? You know what I mean? Like we could say that in a better way as a core value. But how do we help companies figure that out? And then 2, how do we help them deploy it so that their message echoes and carries? That sounds like a product name. Come on, Echo. Where's the reverb? I needed it, Dwayne. We're going to do that. We're going to help a small amount of companies that with carrying that message out. We're going to turn around and do some deep partnership where we really coach leaders in how to set up a rhythm. But it starts at that foundation. We'll probably do some keynote speaking. Kyle, what else are we going to do, man?
I think that's it.
Can I jump in
Go ahead,
here
Dwayne.
before-
Yeah.
I got a big day tomorrow. I have a fully finished 18 by 40 cabin that's going to require 2 to 3 meals to get it delivered. Way back in the sticks and down a dirt lane. With all the rain we've had lately, it's going to be a mess. Well, it needs a bigger mule.
Well, when you talk, Cardinal listens, and you asked for it. With its diesel-powered 69-horse engine and capacity to move 40,000-pound sheds, the Mule 9069 is ready to turn your big days into just another day in the good life.
Ah, that's right. You're talking about the one they had up in Michigan at the shed show. That monster mule, that thing was awesome.
That's right. It's the one you've seen at all the Shed Holler barbecues.
Man, yeah, there's nothing like a little diesel donkey to make my day go so much better.
Digital Shed Builder is an online shed configurator that strives to provide incredible visual quality, fantastic customer service, and an amazingly low price point, making it a perfect fit for any shed dealer looking to increase their online sales. Digital Shed Builder is simple to use, taking less than 5 minutes to integrate on your site. The Get a Quote feature streamlines your sales process, showing you exactly what your potential customers need. They offer a highly customizable experience that accurately represents your brand and unique shed offerings, working with you directly to set up everything you need in a configurator. With no extra startup cost, no lengthy contracts or commitments, and no hidden fees, Digital Shed Builder has been created with quality, simplicity, and affordability in mind.
Yeah, rounding out the humor, because Craig and Kyle both bring a lot of energy. Craig brings a ton of fun energy, but we've had some of the coolest, deepest conversations, kind of working through what does it look like to work together. And we put everything on the table, have hard conversations. And I think, while Belief Co is going to bring a lot of things for companies with branding, with leadership, but I think one of the coolest things is 2 guys that are not scared of getting in and having really hard conversations. Not afraid to speak truth. Not afraid to tell you where you might need to change. And it's been fun to, we've had a lot of fun. We've had a lot of joking around. We love to bring the humor, but it also 2 guys that aren't afraid to really have good conversation and be able to talk deep spiritual things, talk deep business things, and don't shy away from it. It's awesome.
Humor feels best received when you can measure it against the melancholy of your day. Like who knows whenever you're having a good day until you've had a bad day, or until and to me that's what the humor does, is a reminder not to take yourself too serious, because it's so easy for all of us to do that, especially when you're in business, especially when you're helping other people with business. And we talk, from ministry to comedy to business. And this is something I remember specifically from Craig in the Hopkinsville shed show, was whenever we sit down to eat.
I know what you're going to say.
And Craig said, why are you separating your church life and then your personal life and then your business life? Don't they all run together? And I was like, what? No. I mean, there's this box, there's this box, there's this box. And it really was a foundational point for me to realize that, I can talk about Jesus in business, but I can also talk about business in church. And I can also talk about when we're all of those things began to make sense for me after that. So I don't know if I've told you that before, but yeah, it was
Sure, it was me.
It's a guy that looked just like you.
Good looking dude.
Well, I think about it, it wasn't Craig. No, it was, and I believe that
Mexican restaurant. I remember it.
It was, and I believe I see both of you guys as leaders, draw inspiration from the things that you do, and I think the most beautiful thing about this industry is that through all the ebbs and flows, that you can have a real conversation, whether it's about business, or about your faith, or about laughter, and I think that's been expressed here today pretty easily. I mean, the goal here is not just to make you laugh. The goal here is to talk to you about how this business is becoming, a bigger business. I'm not even going to say mature anymore. I got a complex.
Sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry.
But it's becoming, it's very grown up, and there are needs, and all the things you're talking about here today are things that are near and dear to us, because we do love this industry, and the expansion of this industry, where you're starting to see overflow into just other industries, touching in post frame, metal, all of this stuff is and these solutions exist for all of those, because Simon Sinek says, if businesses are made up 100% by people, and if you don't know people, you don't know business. And I think that's, to me, what grabs me the most is the people first. That's why I want to sit down with you and do a podcast. I believe everyone has a unique story. I'm entertained by your testimony, and I think others are too. I think that's why people listen, is because they want to listen in the comfort of their truck while they're hauling a shed or hammering a nail, and they don't want the outside world to, absorb what their thoughts are whenever they hear these things. Someone out there is going to have an amazing product in the next year that none of us thought about.
Yep.
And it's only because they sat back and educated themselves and studied and became passionate about something, and eventually took that step to say, I'm here. I've got this product. It's called Only.
Well, and that taps into two things. But
if someone comes out with another Only, though, that's
you can't do that.
That's going to be a problem.
Somebody once said that if I can get you to laugh, I can get you to listen.
It's good. That.
And all of this stuff around leadership, all of this stuff around culture, I mean, you guys know I'm passionate about that. It all boils down to, we come back and say, communicate. Everybody's got to communicate better. And what it really is do you have a rhythm of listening? That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have an intentional path for listening? So wise what you said there. And I believe in this industry, so many people genuinely care. So many people have a faith. They're not afraid to hide it.
Mm-hmm.
And if we can just help people have the tools to deploy that better, then I think this industry and all these companies will be better. And I will tell you this: we don't have it all figured out, but I've been a part of great leadership. I've been a part of leadership that could have been better, and I'm certainly not. I've not arrived, but it's definitely a continued path that I want to help people learn from things that I've messed up and done, and vice versa. So, what do you think, Kyle? I want to hear from Kyle, man.
Well, I was going to say two things. I'm going to plug two things. Okay. If you want to know more about Only, go to onlyrto.com or give us a call. I'm going to give you my cell phone, 618-638-5422. If you want to learn more about Wild Belief Co., we don't have a website yet. So, but it will be. It will be aired.
But-
So wildbeliefco.com or call Craig. I don't know your number. Sorry.
Perfect.
911.
That sounds like sounds like the read that court. He's like, give him a call.
And here's the thing, like, speaking of first impressions, call Cord, make a great impression. He'll get with us.
That's right.
Take his cut. But
I do real quick. I do want to say this though, for real. I haven't been in the podcast in 2 years, 3 years.
Yeah.
How long has it been? It's been a while.
We're in year 6 now. I know that sounds crazy,
What?
but we started March of 21.
Good night.
That's crazy to think about, isn't it? Like
Wow.
over 400 episodes.
So then 4 years. I haven't been
Yeah.
in this in four.
Probably 4,
Right
yeah.
at 4 years. And to see how far you've brought it is really, really cool, dude. To see the connections you've made, to see the people that have, even in my life, like people still, I haven't been on it in 4 years, and people still are like, dude, are you the guy that was on the Shed Geek podcast? I'm like, how do you even know that still? Like, it's been so long. Like, the impression you've made on the industry, it's making waves, and it's really awesome to see, and to see how far it's come. Because I mean, I remember having the conversation with you in your shed. Okay,
Really
like,
was a
for
shed.
real, in your shed, in your backyard,
Yeah.
about wanting to do the podcast, and then to see you go out and actually buy the equipment. I was like, okay, that's when I got nerdy. Like, okay, this is cool. Like, okay, let's do it. And just to see, like, from that moment to where we're at today is,
You know, that was
It's awesome, man.
thank you. First of all, thank you. I appreciate that, and this wouldn't be here without you. I mean, that first year, I felt like we just hit it really hard, and we were both
did.
two passionate people searching for something, you know. And it was great that we were able to do that together. And I admire that time that we had together. Me and you have good chemistry on the mic. I mean, I'm not afraid to say that if it sounds arrogant. You know, just forgive me, but we have great chemistry on the mic.
great chemistry. Cord. Did you hear that?
not
Great
just on the mic.
chemistry.
Very mature, very mature chemistry. And I do miss it, and you know, I'm proud of you. I'm so happy for you and the things that you've accomplished through your professional career. Like, me and you've had enough conversations going down the road in the car that, like, I know your heart. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know where you stand. I know who you are, and super happy for you too, man. And you're welcome on any time. I mean, like, both of you guys are. You guys are welcome on any time.
All right, we'll be back next week.
You know.
Dwayne, I'd like to have you on for. I'm trying to put together a shed market projection episode. So seriously, I think it'd be great to just kind of dive into, like, what data would be needed, approach to that. Anyway, that's a separate thing. But Dwayne, if you'd like to do that, I would really enjoy continuing that conversation.
Well, talk to Kyle. He's my manager. And I already gave you his cell phone number.
I have a press release to you and a new photo.
Well, I mean, to me, it's been a great episode. I think there's 2 parts here, easy.
Yeah.
I know we've taken a lot of you guys this Thursday evening, and I know you guys are on the East Coast, so it's even later there. You're probably wanting to go get dinner. I love the product, Dwayne. I love you talking about it 4 or 5 months ago, whenever you even briefly discussed it, and even seeing you at that same Charlotte Shed Haulers Bash was a great time sitting and talking with you guys. And I think it's great. I think you guys are, you know, that Mount Rushmore of the shed industry, all the time that you guys have had into it. Your management services now running into, like, this extended help for people who need it in the RTO world. If you're an RTO company, take notice. Only's here, and I got a feeling they're going to do really, really big things. So thank you guys for joining us. It does mean a lot that you sit down and share your story with us, and your expertise as well, too, to the industry.
And thanks, Craig, for just
We
being
had a lot
here.
of fun.
Yeah, thanks, Craig. Appreciate you being here.
I don't know. He said their expertise. I was just as a dig, is all it was. I wasn't trying
I
to.
see what you said there.
Yeah.
Thanks for your expertise. And thank you, Craig.
You guys are nerds.
What a hitter.
I'm sorry.
I really have enjoyed myself here today. Any final thoughts? Anything that you guys honestly want to share with the industry? Any shout outs or any questions, comments, anything at all? Feel free.
Seems very thorough to me. I think we should have made a point to hear more from Leanne. She was like so passionate on a couple of those.
Oh, Leanne is
on a couple of those things.
Leanne is like the source for everything RTO. She is amazing. Like we didn't even scratch the surface. So yeah,
I have to tell a story because none of us would be sitting here in this conversation as it currently sits if it wasn't for Leanne. So I started in doing rent to own back in 2007. Worked with first got invited to work with a guy named Andrew Weaver, and he was doing some rent to own management. I did it for about a year with him, and he said we took on some more management clients, and he looks at me one day and goes, "I'm not interested in building a big team. So here, you take these 2 companies, and I'll take these 2 companies, and you go home and do your own thing." And I'm 20-some years old, and I'm like, how hard could it be? Well, nearly ran that ship into the ground at one point, and I did it kind of as by myself for quite a while, and just got really burnt out with answering all the phones, doing everything all by myself. We actually had hired some individuals for a little while doing some part-time stuff. And so one day I got this brainy idea, I'm done. I'm walking away from this thing. I am sick and tired of it. I'm gonna go do sound stuff. I'm gonna go mix, I'm gonna work for a church or something. And she looked at me and said, "You're crazy. What you're just gonna leave this? Like we can't just leave this this business. This thing works really, really well." And I said, "Oh, I mean, if you want to do it, you can have it. Otherwise, we're going to just hand it back to the clients that we have, and I'm just walking away." And she picked that thing up, and she turned it into a real business. And where we are today as a company, by far, is her work. We would have nosedived that thing a long time ago. It was just me. So I am blessed to have my wife rescue my own business at one point in my life. And where we are today is really due to just the phenomenal operations work that she does, the integrating of the things that we do. I love big ideas. I'm a visionary. I like doing fun things. But please don't strap me down with the operations. And if it wasn't for her, we wouldn't be here. So there you go.
Thank you. That was too kind. But it's cool that you wanted to come back. And I think it's really awesome that you rejoined us. So the gig lasted for a little while, and he came back and he had new ideas. And we always say we balance each other out in a lot of ways. He brings the ideas and the inertia to get us moving, and I'm good on the other side of carrying it out and making it into a process and bringing it in and finishing it. And now we've got 4 of us, and we just doubled that again. And we each have such unique skills that I think that's what's the most exciting to me.
I had an hour conversation today with Addison Burkholder. Mm-hmm. He is a 21-year-old Renaissance man and over IT at Burkholder, and happens to be the son of these 2 cool people. And here's what he said about Dwayne and Leanne. He said, "My dad is the creative force. He has these ideas and he loves to start things and get them going. And my mom makes sure that they stay going and they thrive. They do great things." It was really, really a sweet conversation about, and if you know him, he's such a cool kid. Like he's if you were around him, you'd be like, "This guy, I was such a dork." Still am, but like at that age, it's like, oh my gosh, but how thoughtful he is. And it's just really cool to hear him talk about mom and dad kind of off the record. So,
well, Leanne,
and now he put it on the record.
I was just going to say thank you for putting up with this boys club today. I know we've just been sitting here laughing and cutting up, but yes, thank you so much.
I don't know. We can end any better than that. Dwayne, Leanne, certainly appreciate you guys joining us. Lots of content here, lots of good things, lots of comedy, but lots of seriousness and lots of help. I love what you guys are doing. I think that we can't do enough in the industry to continue to create, Dwayne. That's where something that me and you find the same passion in. Go out and what's Jared say? Go out and do something great for your neighbor. Go out and do something great for the industry. I mean, there's so much opportunity here as it's growing. Love to see what you guys are doing. Thank you guys for joining us today. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks again, Shed Pro, for being the Shed Geeks studio sponsor. If you need any more information about Shed Pro or about Shed Geek, just reach out. You can reach us by email at info@shedgeek.com or just go to our website, www.shedgeek.com, and submit a form with your information, and we'll be in contact right away. Thank you again for listening, as always, to today's episode of the Shed Geek Podcast. Thank you and have a blessed day.